You ever had a goal? Of course you had. When you was young, it was easy. Save up for that new bike, go on that first camping trip. Then as you got older, it was a car, going off to college, then a home, then sending your kids off to college. What if I only give you 5 years to live? What would you do with that? In my case, I had just lost my father, my greatest fan. I didn't have anybody to come back and tell stories to. My father had never been to those places. I'm sitting in there in my home living room looking at a Safari Club magazine. I had 55 animals in North America on that list. I said, that'd be a good goal to do. They break things down like the white-tailed deer more, and they break things like the muskox. There's 2 muskox of Greenland and the Barren Ground. There's more bears. So right now there's 55 animals on that quest from the Safari Club. I says, I might as well add to it and throw the big 6 in Africa. The World Slam of Turkeys. Then I got going to Russia for Marco Polos and Ibexes and New Zealands and Australias, places I never thought I'd be. And even if it didn't happen, I can tell you one thing, I have seen some of the most prettiest places in the whole world, but it did happen. 275 to 300 days a year I spent on the road trying to accomplish 80-some animals. I've taken something like crocodiles, and it started out to be not only an alligator, but a crocodile. Then it went from there to when I killed the Cape buffalo. Somebody said, what's the difference between a Cape buffalo and an Australian buffalo? So I went to Australia and I shot that buffalo, to South America and took that, so all of a sudden I had 3 buffaloes down. It had on the magazine, it said bison, but it didn't say whether it was wood bison or American bison, so I wound up taking both of those. Wolverine, I'm saying, how in the world am I ever going to get a wolverine on TV, on video? I wound up getting 30 minutes of a wolverine on TV before we actually shot him. Going over Rocky McBride and tagging a jaguar and seeing the other side of the world. Well, I want to tell you folks, what if I give you 5 years? 5 years to live. Where do you see yourself? A lot of people dream, but you got a chance right now, right today, to make those dreams happen. So when you watch this, dream along with me, pick out your own 5-year goal and go on them. It's been exciting. They said it couldn't be done, but it was. All those animals will be, all those 80 animals will be a collection at Bass Pro Shop down in the Pittsburgh store, where you can walk through and dream and plan your hunts. I'm Bob Folkrod, and that was my Obsession Quest.
As is often the case when hunting polar bears, the hunter becomes the hunted. Polar bears are very curious by nature and are known to travel thousands of miles each year in search of food. It's quite common for them to come right up into camp to investigate. Bob is acting as both hunter and cameraman on this trip. The native guides have agreed to help, but in the heat of the moment, all bets are off. According to World Conservation Group's estimate, there are between 20 and 25,000 polar bears in the world currently. By international agreement, only indigenous peoples may hunt the world's remaining polar bears, except in Canada. They determined this is a trophy bear, and Bob should take advantage of this prime opportunity. Polar bears are attractive and appealing, but they're powerful predators that do not typically fear humans, which can make them very dangerous. Near human settlements, they often acquire a taste for garbage, bringing bears and humans in perilous proximity. The most important habitats for polar bears are the edges of pack ice, where currents and wind interact. It creates a matrix of ice patches and open water where bears can find the greatest number of seals.
Yanni? Lost the battery. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Just to make sure. Good deal. I think the dogs are tired. I'm tired. I didn't think they'd ever stop. We finally got him up and he laid down to cool off. Well, we were right on top of him. The old 375 put the hurt to him. A nice bear. Yeah, I tell you what, it's reassuring to know that you can still hunt these polar bears up here in the Arctic. They're doing a fantastic job keeping the numbers right. We can now get export permits to bring them back in the States, and it's just fantastic. We had him in a couple times, but we finally had to wear him down. But here he is, a nice polar bear up in the Arctic. A great hunt. Fantastic, eh?
Leading to me?
Yes. Thank you.
Leading to me?
Thank you.
Great hunt.
Great hunt. It's reassuring to know that through conservation efforts of man, we can still come up here in the Arctic and hunt polar bear. Here's proof of it right here. And guess what? If we keep doing a job like that as sportsmen, your children will be able to come up here and hunt polar bear too. It's been a great day, and we got a lot of pictures to take.
After your successful hunt of a lifetime, contact Wes Good at CanadiStudio.com for the finest taxidermy in the business. Be sure to follow Bob and all his adventures at BobFolkrod.com and on Facebook.